Let me guess, you've probably been in one or more of the following situations. You're training just as hard as your friends, but for some reason they're getting bigger and stronger than you, a lot faster too. Or maybe you're dieting extremely hard, but you can't see your abs, but your friends who are eating pizza and snacks all the time are just shredded year round. Or maybe you bench more often than your friends, but for some reason they all still bench more than you. All of these things are a direct result of your genetics, and your genetics matter more than you think you do. Here's why. So you guys, I wanted to touch on this subject because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it enough. It's good to believe in hard work. It's good to believe in diet and training. These are all very, very big factors that come into play when it comes to getting your most jacked, most strong, most lean physique, right? Whatever your goal is, always hard work and consistency will make a big difference. But a lot of people don't like to touch on the topic of genetics, probably because maybe it's a little bit blackpilling. It gives you a bit of a hopeless aura that you might not be able to change certain things about yourself. But what if we look at it from a more logical and optimistic perspective to use it to help you get further, closer to your goals, right? Because I feel like people only look at genetics from a negative standpoint. Let me give you some examples. Why should you understand and care about your genetics? Everyone's body is different. I talk about this a lot in my content. For example, there are people who have been naturally just more overweight their entire life. This is called endomorphic, right? They put on weight a lot easier. Muscle, fat, all of the above. For them, their biggest struggle will be getting lean and staying at low body fat. I'm one of these people. I'm naturally endomorphic. My whole life I was overweight, and it was not really difficult for me to get relatively strong or to put on size. But just being lean is my biggest obstacle by far. Now there's the other end of the spectrum. People who their whole life have been skinny. They're just super thin, and no matter how hard they try, they can't gain any kind of weight, right? Even if they feel like they're just shoving food down their throat, it's just so difficult to gain size. This is what you would call an ectomorphic person. There is a third. This is the person that we all know and hate, because we all know one person like this who just hit the genetic lottery, right? They get stronger faster than everyone else, they get bigger, and they stay leaner year round, and it's almost like they don't even put in effort to look like this. This is the friend that eats Little Caesars pizza after the gym, makes more gains than everyone, is faster than everyone. We all have at least one friend like that. I have one specifically that used to eat 2 McFlurries from McDonald's all the time when we'd go out, and he's still a lot more shredded and a lot stronger than everyone else. This is what we know as mesomorphic, okay? You need to understand your genetics and which one you are, because that's going to affect your protocol. Not everyone will have the same protocol to getting a lean and aesthetic and jacked, shredded, athletic physique, right? The way you go about it, it will be, significantly different based on what your life history is like. So for example, I didn't know about this a long time ago. Let me take you back in time. The first time I tried to get shredded, I was doing what I overheard some ectomorphic guys in the locker room talking about. I saw 2 dudes looking at themselves. You could tell they've been lifting for a couple of years. They both had decent muscle size, but they were shredded. Full 8-pack, both of them. And I heard one of them saying, "Yeah, man, I just had a 1-pound bean and cheese burrito today." And he's like touching his abs. And I was young and I was dumb, and I thought, oh my God, this guy's eating burritos and getting like that. I'm going to start eating burritos. And I just got fatter. And that's the unfortunate truth. If you don't educate yourself, you will do the wrong protocol. I didn't realize that for people like myself who have been overweight their whole life, the biggest game changer for me is going to be getting my diet in check and keeping it in check, right? If you're naturally skinny, you know what the biggest game changer is for you? Going as far past failure as you can, literally killing yourself every set, but doing the same at the dinner table. Yes, you're going to always feel full. You're going to always be ripping ass, farting everywhere you go because you're going to have so much gas from all the food you're containing. But it's okay because you will finally gain lean mass that way. If you're mesomorphic, I don't have any advice for you. Honestly, kill yourself. Just kidding. Just kidding. I wish I had your genetics. And another concept of genetics is bone length and bone structure. People don't take this into account either, because it's not just the way you train and eat that will affect how you look, like based on your genetics. People don't take into consideration things like having much longer arms. For example, if you have a much weaker bench press than all your friends, but you've been lifting the same amount of time, you should really evaluate if you just proportionately have a much longer wingspan, because literally having longer arms is proven to make it more difficult to have a big bench. I'm not saying you can't, but it's just more difficult. And honestly, you probably have a better deadlift than they do if your arms are that long. And another thing, if you have a shorter torso and longer legs, you probably enjoy pulling sumo instead of pulling conventional. Another thing, if you have longer femurs, your thigh bone, if it's way longer than, in proportion to the rest of your bone structures, you probably hate high bar squatting. You probably find it so difficult to do an ass to grass squat. That's how I am. I have to do low bar. I don't even squat anymore. I just use the leg press because it's such an uncomfortable position for me. But one of my other friends who has God-given genetic leverages, his squat form was perfect from day one. Day one, he never had to train it. He never had tight hips, right? The first time this guy stepped underneath a squat bar, he had his chest upright. Perfect ass to grass, hamstring touching the calf. I've never seen such clean squat form in my life. He didn't work for that. That was given to him. You need to educate yourself and look more into genetics and identifying with certain archetypes, because it will help you with your training. Once you understand, maybe bench press is not the best movement for me because not only is it weaker, it's harder to get stronger, but I'm not even feeling my chest getting activated. I'm wrecking my shoulders because my arms are so long. You can finally start doing variations, right? And maybe if you understand, I've been fat my whole life, maybe the game changer for me will be an adjustment to my diet or counting calories. That's when you'll start exponentially flying in your gym progress. I'm telling you guys, it sucks. Yeah, you have to do a little bit extra work. Yeah, you have to put some time in and research, but this is what I did. And I'm not going to tell you to do something I haven't done. You need to start doing it for yourself. You can gain full gym autonomy if you just spend a little bit of time every day actually expressing interest in this. Make yourself interested in the fitness industry and the bodybuilding world and anatomy and physiology, right? Like if you really want to be shredded, just spend some time on the computer. How do people get shredded? How did this guy, look at his past. Was this guy skinny his whole life? Oh, so all he had to do was binge eat for 5 years straight and he got jacked. Oh, this guy weighed 380 pounds. Now he's 190. How did he lose that weight? Find people that had the same starting point as you. What do they do? You have to understand your genetic components so you could use them to your advantage. Not so you can say, oh, I've been fat my whole life, so I'm just going to always be fat. I'm just going to be a strong man. Even though I don't even like picking up Atlas stones, I'm just going to do it because, dieting's too hard. No, don't be excuse my language, a black-pilled okay, bro, don't do that. Use it as an opportunity to learn more and expand your literacy and just get smarter, okay? Like, there's no downside to learning more information. I learned for myself that I have to always keep my calories in check or I'll get fat really fast, and bone density and joint thickness compared to everyone else. I am the one friend that's always wrecked. So I have to be more careful, do more preventative measures, and be more on point with my diet. I'm very prone to inflammation. Learn this stuff about yourself, because then you're not going to be as depressed when you say like, oh, I don't know what the matter is. All my friends are progressing in the gym and I'm hurt all the time, or my bench is only 225 and theirs are 275. There's a reason. There's a reason. Do yourself a favor, man. I wish this information about genetics was more widespread. I'm going to be working more to make it more widespread so we can solve the issue, because everyone has a unique body, okay? Some people have short torso, long arms and legs. They are gods at sumo deadlifting. Some people are extremely stocky and dense balls of freaking, what's that shit that Doc Ock wanted from Spider-Man? Tritium. That's what they are. Dense balls of tritium. They're just extremely powerful and they can put up a 405 bench naturally because their arms are so short. Guys, figure out what you are and how to use it to your advantage. Don't let it discourage you though. Okay, that's it for the video. This is Ski Master Duet signing out. Let's create the best version of ourselves to give to the world. Okay, peace.